guys, how you doing? It's Henry at Mowers, Blowers, and Guns. It's been a long time since I made any videos about the ammo shortage, because for the past month and a half there hasn't been any substantial shipments to my favorite place, Field and Stream, to get ammunition. Although I already have about 5,000 rounds of 22 long rifle as well as 5,000 rounds of 9mm, I really don't need any, but I have been looking, as well as my Instagram group of guys. We have a group chat where we take turns calling or going to the store and notifying each other whether or not there's been a big shipment. But seemingly, ever since that 7 million rounds that were hijacked in Mexico of a Gila 22 long rifle, there hasn't been any shipments over at Field and Stream. There might have been some 9mm here and there, some 12 gauge stuff, but really nothing at Field and Stream. So during that hiatus of ammunition shortage, if you will, I decided I think I'm gonna build a rifle. So as you guys may know from following this channel, I have an AR-9 and also a Smith & Wesson M&P 1522. I didn't have a 223 or a 5.56 type rifle, and I thought that I should. And I thought that maybe I should go retro by having the typical look of an AR-15 instead of the newer handguards and all that. So I decided I was gonna build a custom budget build with some decent parts, not super cheap parts. You could easily go out there and buy a $39 or like a $39 upper, $89 barrel, you know. You could just do that, but and probably get a decent rifle for under $500 as long as you build it yourself, right? And as long as you have an FFL that doesn't charge $50 for a transfer, which most of my local places do. A guy in my local Instagram group chat of ammo searchers, he's a NYPD cop right now, and he's got a retired cop friend who became an FFL, and he only charges $25 for a transfer, which I'm planning on doing once I order my lower receiver. Truth be told, I've already ordered all the parts for my build, and while I was trying to get it under $500, it's just so tough to do, you know, especially when you see the receiver that you want. So I ordered an Aero Precision M4E1 lower receiver. That stuff usually goes for about $150, $185 for just a lower receiver itself, you know. But I found a Blem. You know what a Blem is? A Blem is a blemished item, such as when they're packing it or taking it out of inventory and putting it someplace, maybe they drop it or they scratch it by accident, or they're doing something and there's a little bit of a blemish to it. That's a Blem. Or there may be some imperfections in the anodized coating, or if it's a Cerakote or something, there may be an uneven part. From my experience from some friends who have told me, when they order Blems and they get it, you look at it and you're like, I can't find anything wrong with it. And that's usually the case. Very rarely will you actually notice anything of a Blem. So in my opinion, getting a Blem for sometimes 50% off of retail is definitely worth it. So I did buy an Aero Precision lower receiver. It's coming. It'll take a couple of weeks because it's an FFL item, you know. And I've ordered everything else, and while I was trying to keep it under 500 bucks, right? My grand total right now, including optics and Thorts in stock and all that stuff, it's about $840. Anyway, I'm gonna be posting parts. When my parts come, I'm gonna be posting updates to my build. So today will be part 1 of my custom budget build. Today, my upper came. So I was looking for an upper receiver, and by the time you go through everything, right, finding the upper receiver you want, which I wanted an Aero, right, But if you get the M4E1, you can only put their handguard on. Or you can get the regular arrow. But then again, what's so special about the regular arrow if you can't get the M4E1, right? So then I was pricing out bolt carrier groups. Man, they're expensive. $100, $150, $200 and up, you know what I mean? And then I was looking at barrels, about $100 also. Then you got the gas block, the gas tube, the inner trigger, the lower parts assembly, buffer tube, castle lock, nut, everything. The spring, the buffer itself, really expensive. You know what I'm saying? So when you put all that together, the prices could really go up there. So I decided, you know what? Let me find a complete upper. A complete upper is the upper receiver that has the upper parts already installed, and also the gas block, the gas tube, as well as the barrel and the handguard. You know what I mean? So I found this on Palmetto State Armory. Palmetto's a pretty decent brand, you know what I mean? Maybe not as good as an Arrow, but if I can't get my choice of handguards by getting an Arrow Precision M4E1, why not just get a Palmetto that's a complete upper? So this is their Freedom model, right? And during Freedom Week, they had a big sale. So this complete upper costs $279.99. Great deal, right? And it includes the BCG, the bolt carrier group, which is a fantastic deal. Regular price of this was $449.99, so I'm getting a fantastic deal at $279. A savings of about $200, you know what I mean? Shipping was $17. New York State tax was $25. So this was shipped to my door today for $322. I'm gonna open it up and unbox it for you right now. Very fancy tapage. It's a cool little box. Now, my AR-9 is FDE, flat dark earth colored, right? Has a FDE Thorson stock, FDE upper and handguard. My Smith & Wesson M&P 1522 Plinker is all black. So what did I decide to get? OD green, baby! And like I said, I decided to go with the traditional AR retro look. The one with the sight gas block combo, right? 16-inch barrel, OD green handguard, complete upper with forward assist, hole cover, charging handle, and bolt carrier group. So all this, for that amount of money, I thought was a pretty good deal. Has your typical bird cage, which I'm going to put a fake silencer barrel shroud on, because in New York you're not allowed to have a bird cage anyway. You have to put like a thread protector, pin and welded on there. So instead of pin and welding just a regular thread protector, I'm gonna pin and weld a fake silencer suppressor. So this would almost look like an SBR with a suppressor on it. Badass. Really nice. It's got some weight to it, you know. I want to say it's 3.4 pounds. So, okay, so here we go. I'm going to show you the blemish now. I can see it. Okay, here we go. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it on the GoPro, because GoPros don't zoom very well. So you see it right there? A slight blemish in the mold. A few marks, almost like the molded casting wasn't complete. But you know what, man? I mean, you're going to be using this at the range, you know what I mean? and you're gonna scratch it eventually. So if this is gonna save me a lot of money, I really don't care about the scratches. As you can see here, look, this was probably installed on something and you have a few scratches and blemishes. This is gonna happen anyway, you know what I mean? So I really couldn't care less as long as I get a good deal on it. So this is just part one of my budget build, the complete upper, which is a substantial part of the rifle. I'm gonna cut this thing and show you the BCG. Your typical bolt carrier group for your 223 5.56 chambered rifle. Nothing spectacular. And your regular charging handle. No big deal. I think eventually I will get an ambidextrous one, whereas you do this and this part opens too, or you can just, there'd be another thing here and that thing would move too. Loosen this bird cage with an 18mm wrench. There's the barrel with the crush washer. And I just measured, it is 16 inches from here to there, which makes it New York State legal. So, this is part one of my build. Hopefully you guys would stay tuned for my part 2, 3, 4, 5, and all that. I've got a Thorson OD green stock coming, and Anderson lower parts kit with trigger. I got the stainless steel trigger. It's the kind that's not a drop-in, that you actually have to put each individual piece in. I figured it would be more challenging to do it myself that way instead of just the drop-in trigger, which is very expensive, by the way. They're all like over $100 for a drop-in trigger, even on sale, you know. So I'm getting a lower parts kit, the stainless steel trigger, Thorson stock. I've got a TacFire 3x to 9x rifle scope with a TacFire 3 red dot sight on the top. That's combined, okay? And then getting the the Aero Precision lower, M4E1, and that needs to be assembled. I've got about 4 hex mags coming for the 223 rounds, and there's some other stuff, I forget what it was. I think that might have been it though. So the build will just happen as I get the parts in the mail. So this was just part one of it. Hopefully you guys will stay tuned for part 2 and so on, and hopefully you guys will be able to see the finished product, and then we'll take it to the range and shoot it. Thanks a lot for joining me on today's episode, guys. See you guys next time on Mowers, Blowers, and Guns.
Say hello to my little friend!